Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Nick Kosko, your Jersey Flight play-by-play broadcaster, doing another one of our Jersey Flight interview series videos here. We had head coach Terrence Foster on last week. Go check that out on the Jersey Flight YouTube page, also the SFBN YouTube page as well. Today, I'm pleased to be joined now by offensive lineman Keith Newell, who is joining us. He's joined the flight for the first time this year. Obviously, the season is delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic, as we were talking about with Coach Foster last week, but we'll keep churning out these interviews, get to know the coaches and players throughout the off season, and hopefully we have a season sooner rather than later, so we can get the Jersey Flight season underway here in 2020. Keith, thanks for joining me, man. And first off, just say, how are you and the family doing right now during this hectic period of time?
Hey, thanks for having me. The fam's good, man. Everybody, we're just maintaining, keeping close contact, communication daily. Life hasn't changed too much for me because the field that I'm working in right now is still open. So I'm just going to work every day and coming straight home. It's really just like the in-between that's weird for me now. Like, it's really to work, back home. Like, it's nothing to do.
So it's pretty much just you wake up, you eat, you go to work, come back, and then you're prepared. You're just hanging out with the fam, staying at home, and really just can't do anything else, right?
Yeah, whole lot of free time.
What do you do? What are you doing in that free time? Just trying to stay in shape. I was going to ask you, I mean, since the football season hasn't started yet, training camp really didn't get underway. I mean, what are you doing right now to, stay prepared for the season, knowing that, the gyms aren't open, you're at home, so you can pretty much stay inside, or you go outside and you work out outside, or you do yard work, or you just go to work. What are you doing to stay prepared?
I mean, I got a lot of space in my spot, so it's a lot of push-ups, sit-ups, body squats, and just like stuff like that. But it's really back to the basics for everybody in a lot of ways. Like, gyms aren't open, so you got to get it how you can. Just got to stay in shape the best way you can. Like, the track is free though. A big set of stairs is somewhere around here. Like, you could get it in. It's just not as luxurious as you would like it to be, but sometimes you gotta get like that. It remind me. Remember? I don't know if you ever seen Creed 2. You saw Creed 2?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Adonis, he had all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Feel me? He got whopped. And then, like, right before the last fight, Rocky took him out to the desert. Like, this hell, you got to get it. You got to get it here. You feel me? So it really put me in that type of mindset. Like, yo, if you gonna get it, you gonna get it. And when this is all said and done, we're gonna see who was preparing and who was just sitting around waiting for something to happen.
Do you like that old school mentality approach? I mean, you really don't have too many. I mean, you might have a couple of dumbbells in your house, but pretty much it's push-ups, sit-ups, you run. You said you find a big staircase, run up that thing 100 times. I mean, do you like that old school approach to working out?
Yeah, it's gritty. I'm a gritty person. I'm not like the fanciest this to that. Like, I'm more that type of person, and where I'm gonna get it when it's hard to get. Everybody not gonna want to do it. Like, everybody not gonna want to go outside and get it that way. But the real ones, they will.
So with these limitations on training, I mean, you're a lineman, so obviously, quarterbacks, they'll try to throw a ball around, or wide receivers, they'll try to find somebody to throw a ball to them. They'll work on that. Maybe they actually have a jugs machine, or they'll do something to try to keep their hands steady, keep their hands right. Defensive backs, a lot of agility stuff. I know linemen do the same thing, but knowing that you're one of those guys in the trenches. So what are you actually doing now? Aside, you can't lift, like you said, so you're doing a lot of the body weight exercise. But what else can linemen do? And I've actually seen this before. I see some college linemen, NFL linemen. They can't go to a gym, but they're pushing their trucks around. I mean, are you doing something as crazy as that?
Yeah, I've pushed my baby Sierra around a couple of times, but that ain't. Nah, I'm cool. I might do it if I'm feeling if the body feeling real good one day. I might try it again and record it. But for the most part, man, as far as line play goes, a lot of it is mental, and you can get behind anything and push it. But the back of my pickup truck don't feel like somebody's rib cages. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's not the same. So a lot of it for me now is mental. I've been playing football for more than half my life. So a lot of it is muscle memory. It's watching film. There's more footwork than anything. Like, footwork, hand placement. You get to a corner of a wall and get your fit right and do what you got to do. But just as far as exhausting yourself and putting in the leg work, yeah, you can push your truck. It just goes back to what you've been doing. And just keeping your mind sharp more than your body.
I like that. So, I mean, you're a long-time indoor football veteran. You've been playing football for a long time. You were most recently with the Philadelphia Soul, obviously a very accomplished franchise. So you come from a lot of championship level of experience. So, what does that do to help you out, knowing that you're coming to a new team this year here in Jersey? It's also local for you, but as far as the mental aspect in terms of that championship pedigree you had with Philadelphia, what does that do to help you with your new teammates?
Just bringing in that championship mentality. When it's time to work, it's time to work, and when it's time to play, it's time to play, and learning how to separate the two. And just giving my experience to the younger guys as much as I can, and just doing my part.
Now, you're a Trenton, New Jersey native. Was that the biggest deciding factor for you? I mean, obviously, when the AFL folded after last season, obviously Philadelphia, a longtime franchise, they had to close doors along with, teams like Atlantic City, Albany, Columbus, and teams like that. Was the biggest deciding factor for you to keep playing football? You wanted to stay local? Because, I mean, hypothetically, if Atlantic City was still around, you might have went there. But since the league closed entirely, was staying home the biggest thing for you if you wanted to continue playing football?
Yeah, staying home was a huge factor in that. Just because I'm taking the necessary steps to set up my post-football career, my post-football life, where I would like to build, start a family, start a business, all that is right now is based in Jersey. Now, that may change depending on the outcome of whatever this pandemic will do economically, but I wanted my focus to be post-football career where I want to start my roots. Second thing was I love my hood. I love my hood. So for me to be able to actually come here, come home and do what I love, where I love, in front of most of the people that I love, I mean, you couldn't really beat that. It was a great deal for me.
Expand on that a little bit, because obviously, again, you're a Trenton native, and what you just mentioned how much your town means to you. What does it mean to you with the city of Trenton?
It means a lot to me. I would say everything, but if it was anything under everything, it would be that. It's really like the proving ground. And you say you go places, you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's that for me. It's been the hardest, highest pressurized situation I've ever been in, and I was born in it. So then, like, when I go to other places, I'm in other environments, or I face any type of other adversity, it seemed light to what I've been through, what I've experienced firsthand and secondhand. It produces some of the finest people and the finest talent. You may not hear about it because the press only publicize the negative stuff that sells, but a lot of good talent has come from here, athletically and otherwise too. Great lawyers, great attorneys, promoters, entertainers, you name it. You'll be surprised of who actually came from Trenton, who's actually been through Trenton. So it's a jewel of the state of New Jersey, and I'm proud to say that I'm from there.
Now, I was talking to Coach Foster last week. I mean, before we dive into what he said about the community, which was just great stuff in terms of the team-oriented stuff with the Trenton community. What was it like when you decided to play for Jersey? But obviously, you had to get to know Coach Foster a lot. I mean, what was that like for you, getting to know him, and how do you feel about playing for him and this organization?
Just like anything, man, we only as good as our leader. We're only as healthy as our head. And just talking with Coach Foster, like upon initially meeting him, seemed like a genuine guy. He loved the game like I love the game, and he loves the city, and he appreciates it. Anybody that can show genuine love like that, I can get behind. From the football standpoint, he's offered to help me in a few ways, on and off the field. And he lends himself, like, whatever I need, if he got it and I hit him, he got me. And I believe that. I believe in the vision that he has for the team and for the upcoming season and the stuff that he wants to do in the community. I can get behind somebody like that 100%.
I wanted to talk about some of the community things. Obviously, Coach mentioned last week some of the youth possibilities, giving back to the youth programs, which are obviously youth sports around the country are going down a little bit in terms of participation, but particularly in the cities like Trenton and some parts of New Jersey, youth sports, particularly football, the participation's gone down, but when they have a professional team right in their own backyard, it seems to help out the community a lot. So, I mean, was that something you were really on board for? Because obviously, I mean, again, you're from the area, so you know about, youth all the way up to high school football in that area. So that has to be something that's really appealing to you, right?
Yeah. It's going to be I believe it's going to be like a tremendous, surge in youth sports, because after all this is over, I swear to God, everybody going to want their kids to go outside. They're not going to leave kids in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Come out. Like, go do something. And working with the flight and backing these community organizations as far as, like, youth sports and all that, like, just having them have that backing, I think is going to encourage a lot of kids to go out and just be outside again and get back into sports and just be active. Come back with your pants dirty, like that type of stuff. Like not sit on Fortnite all night long. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with Fortnite and Call of Duty, but like I said, gotta have a balance.
Absolutely, get your hands dirty a little bit. Get that sunburn once in a while. Get outside, absolutely. So when you're looking at this team now, let's talk about from a football standpoint for the flight and for the upcoming season. When you're looking at them from on paper at least, and I've gone over the roster a handful of times, and I've talked to a couple people. I obviously broadcasted the Blackjacks last year, and so I at least know quarterback Warren Smith. So again, you see veterans, you see young bucks, you have longtime players like yourself who have championship pedigree. It's a nice little balance. You just mentioned balance. This is a nice balance with the Jersey Flight in terms of the veterans and the young bucks. What's this team look like to you on paper? I know you guys really haven't had too many organized team activities, but it looks like a pretty good team when you actually map it all out on paper.
Mm-hmm. On team, it's reminiscent of last year's Soul team, to where we had a lot of vets and a lot of young guys. I want to say it might have been either split down the middle or 60-40, the 60 being the young guys and the 40 being the vets. It gives us an opportunity to teach the game to the young guys and get them acclimated as quickly as possible. And that way, when the ball gets rolling, we all on the same page. You can't tell who a new guy and who not. We got the experience and we got the youth and athleticism to really get the job done. Something that I've learned playing arena football, and I've said this many times, it's not always the most talented team that wins it all. It's usually the better team. And by team, I mean like that gel together, that work together, that get on the same page the quickest, that peak at the right moment. Like, those are usually the teams that win it all. So I think we got a great opportunity to make that happen for us.
Now, being a veteran of the indoor game for a long time, what's the main difference? For people who don't know, what's the main difference for you playing line in basically an all-passing league? It's obviously it's 8-on-8. It's in a much more confined space compared to the outdoor game. And you mentioned how teams gel, and I've never seen so much in all the years I've watched this game and broadcast this game. I've never seen so much timing and how important timing is in this league. Probably more so than the outdoor game. What do you say? What do you say that comparing the indoor game to the outdoor game?
It's a lot faster indoors than outdoors. I don't think I've ever seen a play action in arena football. I
don't even know if you can do that.
Yeah, I don't think we got that. But it's the timing is important, and that's another important thing. Is more than just, oh, I can play football, or I can block, or I can throw, or I can catch, or I can rush the pass. It's timing to it. To a quick now play, to a 3-step drop, to a 5-step drop, to a 7-step drop. I only really seen Grady do a 7, but like all that matters. It matters the pass set. Everything has to work at the right time, and if it doesn't, it'll blow up in your face. You can have a great play, but instead of running 10 yards, you run 8.5. Picked off, going to the box. Like, that's everything. The details matter way more in arena football.
So I'll leave you here with this one. I mean, so again, we'll go back to your local ties with the community. Hey, you mentioned that it was a big deciding factor for you to come back and continue your career, and obviously focus on your post-football career as well. So as a whole, knowing that you believe this team is at least on paper similar to the Philadelphia Soul team that made the Arena Bowl last year, and the fact that there are some AFL veterans and IFL veterans and NAL veterans all mixed in on this New Jersey Flight team in 2020. What would it mean for you and this team to bring a championship to the city of Trenton? Because I mean, for people who don't know, Jersey loves their football, and if they have their local team all the way up. I mean, the support is tremendous. We saw it in Atlantic City last year. We've seen it up around, obviously, all over Philadelphia. I mean, the area over here is so ripe with football talent. What would it mean for this team to bring a championship to this city of Trenton?
It'd be inspirational, man. It would mean a lot to me because just the simple fact that it hasn't been done. I've won here on the Pop Warner level, and I just got to high school just as like the glory days of Trenton Central High School was over when they was winning the championships. I went to college at Rutgers University. I went to 2 bowl games. I've done won both of them. The last one was against Russell Wilson. Came back. It was a crazy, crazy reception. You know, so I know what it's like to win in Jersey. I know what it's like to win for Jersey. To bring it back just like locally to the hood, just on some, hey, we went and got this for y'all. Like, we got Trenton on our jerseys. We play here. I'm from here. Like, this is really for us. Man, I mean the world to me. I get goosebumps talking about it because I know what it's going to be like. It'll be something special. I know that.
I can only imagine that parade down the city of Trenton, if and when you guys win a championship. And I didn't want to bring up the Rutgers tie just yet because I'm also a Rutgers alum, so I didn't want to bring that up. Oh yeah, I didn't want to bring that up just yet. Otherwise, we would have been talking about Rutgers for a whole hour. But
I see you blowing up talking about it too.
I know, of course, man. Hey, I got my radio sweatshirt on as well. I got my Rutgers stuff all over the place, man.
Word, that's what's up.
All right, Keith. Well, I appreciate you joining me, man. Stay safe. Health and happiness to you and your family. Hopefully, we talk soon again, and hopefully, with the training camp gets underway when this pandemic starts to clear, and hopefully, we get the season in. And I can't wait to see you boys play.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, Keith Newell, everybody. I am Nick Kosko from the Jersey Flight, your play-by-play broadcaster. We'll see Keith in action, hopefully this season in Trenton, suiting up in that blue and gold and silver and a bunch of other colors as well. Jersey Flight, baby. As Keith Newell, former Soul lineman, New Jersey Flight lineman as well. It's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you next time on this Jersey Flight interview series.